So for our next module, we're going to be talking about navigating project budgeting, which is one of the things that we have to consider while pricing, the budgeting aspect of the pricing. In the intro will be to understanding the importance and effective way to price a project, and then we'll talk about the budgeting challenges that we face as designers, and then we'll talk about setting client expectation, accurate cost estimation, and managing scope creep, which is something that is a pain point for a lot of designers, and then we'll talk about budget proposal process. One of the first questions that the designer asks the client is, what is your budget? And it's usually very hard for the client to know, and also for the designer to be able to estimate as fast as they can in the best way possible, because each project is very different than the other project. Even if you worked on a lot of projects, some projects are like each other, but most of the projects are very hard to give an estimate right away. While the client might want you to give them a budget estimation right away, please refrain from giving them any solid number. What you can do is put it in a bracket, so you can say it can take anything from 10,000 to 1 million. So that way it's impossible to, hold you onto one number, because they tend to remember the first numbers you give them. If you're going to give them a number, always overestimate rather underestimate. It's very, very important to understand there should be some kind of flexibility, not only from the designer's side, but also from the client side, about the pricing and what needs to be compromised for the right price and what we need to splurge on so we have like a really good project. Here are some of the common budget challenges, which is something that we all face, and I want you to know this because you're not alone in this. We are all in this together. There's mismatched expectation. The client is expecting a different budget reality than yours. There's the accurate cost estimation, so dealing with fluctuation prices, hidden costs, scope creep, which is managing changes that increase cost and budget overruns. Clients keep adding changes, or they add more stuff, and the scope gets bigger, so the price gets higher, so they kind of forget about that. Project delays, so navigating delays in the best way possible. Reliability of suppliers and contractors, which is something that you don't have any control over. I mean, you can vet those suppliers and contractors, but it's impossible to determine what's going to happen in the site. Budget transparency, so sometimes the clients are not as transparent, and sometimes designers are elusive with accurate costs. Also, there's payment schedule. Sometimes the client will not be willing to pay as fast as the designer wants them to pay. And also there are like hidden fees or things that we don't think about, which are the permit fees, regulation, compliances. The smallest fees sometimes can gather to become like a really big number added to your budget. So these are some of the common budget challenges that a designer might face. So now that we talked about the challenges, let's find solutions for those challenges. The first one is setting client expectation. How do you do that? I think the best way to do so is to be very transparent and very honest from very early on. In the early conversation, you have to talk about money. You have to talk about how much money they set aside for this project, especially if it's a renovation. If they have not got enough budget for a project, and we all know that interior design is expensive. It's expensive to build everything up. Unless the project scope is decoration, there is a lot of things that can go wrong, so unexpected stuff and contingencies need to be accounted for too. So it's not actually cheap to hire an interior designer and work with an interior designer, but also for the project itself, it requires a lot of money for them to be honest and to have set money aside for this job. So also we need to be able to educate them. A good idea here is to streamline your educational process by having a presentation. So you tell them exactly what goes on, when do they need to pay, how much they need to pay. If you can have percentages, that would be perfect. And be careful with this one. This one is a make or break situation with projects. Detailed contracts with every single piece of work written down, them signing it off after only you read it to them. We are trying to make sure that everyone understands what's going on and what's the exact scope of the project and how much do you need to get paid. So you don't have any issues with the delayed payments, scope creep, or anything that might harm your interior design career. I talked about it in the video before, but just to emphasize it more, please be careful with the information you share. So the client will hold you accountable to numbers that you say in the beginning. So be very careful with the numbers. Do not give out a budget without understanding the full scope. And even with that, like every project is unique. We understand that. Be careful with this aspect. Make sure that if you want to give estimate, go to the higher side, under promise and over deliver. So for an accurate cost estimation, it's important to stay up to date on market trends. So we understand how much it costs to renovate the flooring, for example. Even if you have not gotten an experience in a project, it's important to look up the prices and also go to the suppliers and understand how much something costs. Also, always have a contingency plan. You understand there is an unforeseen expense and you will be able to survive any issues that happen within the site. Scope creep is one of my most asked questions when I'm sitting down with designers. They're asking me about how to avoid it. You have to have clear terms from the beginning. The contract is what makes or breaks. There's a lot of variation things, like if you have a formal change order process. So if the client was to formally tell you they want to change something or they want to add something, then you have a document which is a formal change order document that tells them that this is what they requested and this is what you'll do and this is what will cost them. That document is so important to have, so make sure you have it. And also, if you make any sort of communication on WhatsApp, on the phone or anything, make sure you always have a documentation of them. So say you discuss something with a client over the phone, make sure that you document it via email or WhatsApp and return it back to them. Make sure you have a copy of that, the receipts, just to protect yourself and also for them to protect themselves too. So a budget proposal process makes or breaks your entire proposal for a budget, and it can, wreck the project or it can make it the best, easiest project you've ever had. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to gather information. So whatever it is, requirements, vision, budget, anything that like you talked about with a client in the beginning, you need to have it recorded on a digital file. I mean, don't record phone calls or like meetings, but make sure that you have like minutes of meetings. So you record what they said and you compare it exactly with what they say later on, and you document this within a contract. Your design fee needs to be paid first, and you need to have at least 50% in the beginning that you get paid, to make sure that everything is good and everything is on board and you can be restful while working on the project. And of course, you need to have like an estimate for the general requirements, so for the materials and finishes, furniture, furnishing, and equipments. You need to have a sheet for that. I've attached a couple examples as well in the course material, so make sure to check them out. You have to account for labor, so whatever contractors, painters, electricians, plumbers, whatever you might need in the project, it's important to account for those. There's a lot of apps for different kind of hires, so you can take the rates of them and add it to the cost. Permits, anything that you might need a permit for, if you need an entry permit, if you need an exit permit, load item to site permit, these are all cost money, and it's important to include those inside of the project proposal. The contingency, so there's a lot of talk about the contingency and how much you need to add. I say go from 10 to 20%. You can even go higher. In the beginning, make sure that it's there because you might need to use your contingency at some point. Use a software to compile all of the information. There's so many information. How do you compile it? I freaking love Notion for this, but there are other softwares too. So there's Excel, there's Google Sheets, Honeybook, QuickBooks. There's a million different software. Design Files is a good one as well. So have a presentation, review that budget with the client, and make sure you obtain written approval from the client and a percentage of the payment before proceeding with anything at all.